picture a scenario you have almost certainly lived through. You are at a wedding reception,
Oh, we all know this one.
right? You are wearing something just slightly uncomfortable, like maybe a suit jacket that's a little too tight across the shoulders.
Or a dress that requires constant adjustment.
Exactly. And you're sitting at table 12, making incredibly polite but incredibly strained small talk.
Usually with a distant cousin you haven't seen in a decade.
Yes. And you are just waiting. Waiting for the rambling speeches to finally end. Waiting for the endless clinking of glasses to stop.
And most importantly, waiting for the food.
Right. Waiting for that obligatory, universally tolerated plate of dry chicken or overcooked salmon to be placed in front of you.
It is a classic shared trauma.
It really is. It's like you are stuck in an unskippable cutscene in a video game. You are just sitting there, passively enduring the main event so you can finally get up, hit the dance floor, and get back to the actual fun.
Which is so true. I mean, it is the defining hallmark of the traditional event experience. For decades, the catering at large celebrations was treated primarily as a logistical hurdle.
Just a problem to be solved.
Right. It was always, how do we feed 200 people at the exact same time without anything catching on fire?
And the result was sustenance you simply had to endure.
Exactly. But the entire premise of that model is currently fracturing. And honestly, the shift is moving faster than anyone anticipated.
Oh, 100%. Which brings us perfectly to our mission for today.
I am so excited for this one.
Me too. We're doing a deep dive into a fascinating industry briefing titled Korean BBQ or Latin Taco Fusion Experiences.
Such a specific but incredible topic.
It really is. We're going to explore how and why this specific culinary mashup has absolutely taken over as the ultimate catering trend for modern celebrations in 2026.
And it's not just weddings either.
Right, beyond just weddings, we want to look at what this trend reveals about the future of how we all gather, dine, and celebrate. We have this massive briefing detailing everything from the flavor profiles to the logistics.
And what stands out immediately in this briefing is the paradigm shift away from the predictable.
The passive eating era is over.
It really is. Guests are actively rejecting the passive dining experience. They want interaction, they crave entertainment, and they're demanding that social moments be built directly into the meal itself.
So food is no longer the interruption to the party.
Exactly. The food has to be the party.
I love that. But before we get into the spatial logistics of how it actually works in a room, we first need to understand the plate itself.
Right, the actual menu.
Yeah, because you can have all the entertainment in the world, but if the food doesn't fundamentally work, the trend dies. So why these two specific culinary worlds?
Well, the menu they lay out is just wild.
It is. The briefing lists out an incredible menu. We are talking about bulgogi beef, Korean spicy pork, gochujang chicken.
Oh, the gochujang chicken sounds amazing.
Right, plus garlic soy shrimp, Korean fried tofu, and sesame grilled salmon. So, okay, let's unpack this for a second.
Sure.
Are Latin tortillas essentially just the ultimate edible envelope for complex global flavors? Because taking sweet fermented Korean marinades and putting them inside a Latin tradition seems like an incredibly specific leap.
I mean, it seems like a leap until you look at the underlying culinary science of why we enjoy certain foods.
Okay, lay it on me.
Well, what's fascinating here is how these two distinct culinary traditions complement each other almost perfectly on a biological level.
Biological?
Yeah. Korean BBQ brings incredibly intense, complex marinades to the table. You are dealing with deep, fermented, sweet, and highly spiced notes.
Right, ingredients like gochujang and doenjang.
Exactly. Those provide massive umami bombs. And then Latin tacos structurally bring versatility, freshness, and crucial acidic elements.
So it's a balancing act.
Totally. When you combine them, you are engineering a masterpiece of textural and flavor contrasts that literally light up every receptor on your palate.
Let's dig into that culinary science a bit more, because the briefing gives some fantastic examples of those contrasts.
They do. It's not just random ingredients thrown together.
Right. You aren't just slapping some grilled beef into a flour tortilla and calling it fusion. You are taking rich, slow-cooked Korean short ribs and pairing them with a vibrant, highly acidic cilantro lime slaw.
Which is a brilliant pairing.
Or you are taking spicy gochujang chicken and topping it with jalapeno kimchi, a sweet mango salsa, and a rich chipotle aioli.
And there's a physiological reason that specific combination works so well.
It's all about the fat and the acid, right?
Precisely.
Yeah.
The rich, slow-cooked fat of a Korean short rib is delicious, but it heavily coats your tongue.
Yeah, it can be a lot.
Right, so if you just eat that rich meat surrounded by a heavy carbohydrate, it becomes one-dimensional and palate-fatiguing very quickly.
You get tired of eating it.
Exactly. But when you introduce the acidic bite of a cilantro lime slaw, that acid literally cuts through the fat on your tongue.
Oh, wow.
It resets your palate, meaning every subsequent bite tastes just as vibrant as the first one.
That makes total sense. So you have the heat from the gochujang, the sweetness of the mango, the sharp acid of the lime.
Plus the physical crunch of the slaw.
Right. And the rich fat of the aioli, all hitting your brain at the exact same millisecond.
It's culinary fireworks. And if you think about a traditional plated wedding dinner, it usually aims for the absolute middle of the road.
Oh, definitely. The goal of the traditional caterer is to avoid offending anyone's palate.
Which inevitably results in blandness. I mean, the monolithic chicken breast is designed to be inoffensive.
Yeah, nobody loves it, nobody hates it.
Right. But this fusion trend runs in the complete opposite direction. It leans entirely into bold, multicultural dining.
You have pickled onions acting as a sharp counterpoint to the creamy richness of avocado crema.
Yes, all grounded by the earthy, toasted notes of a fresh corn tortilla. It creates a high-definition culinary experience.
The flavors alone sound incredible. But, the incredible flavors are really only half the story here.
Oh, absolutely. The logistics are fascinating.
Yeah, the data shows us that the delivery mechanism, like the physical way the food gets from the kitchen to the guest, is what's truly driving this trend into the stratosphere.
It's a complete reimagining of the dining space.
Right. We are moving from what is being served to how it is being served. The plated dinner is essentially dead.
R.I.P. the plated dinner.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And interactive catering has completely taken over.
We are seeing a complete shift from passive eating to active engagement. The live dining setups described in the briefing are just so dynamic.
Guests are no longer tethered to a chair.
Exactly. You aren't just sitting there waiting for a waiter to drop a plate over your shoulder. You are physically getting up, moving through the space, and participating in the creation of your meal.
The elements of this setup are wild to visualize. I mean, we are talking about live grilling chefs actively cooking the meat over open flames right in the reception hall.
It's dinner and a show.
It really is. You have dedicated DIY taco bars, you have entire stations purely devoted to Korean side dishes and various stages of fermented kimchi.
Oh, and the salsas.
Yes, massive gourmet salsa selections. And chefs physically pressing and cooking handmade tortillas on the flat top right in front of you.
Plus satellite stations for things like Korean fried chicken sliders and Latin-inspired rice bowls.
But hold on, let me push back on this for a second.
Sure, for it.
When I hear food stations and DIY taco bars, my mind immediately goes to like a chaotic cafeteria line.
Right, the buffet stigma.
Exactly. If a couple is spending tens of thousands of dollars on a high-end luxury event, does sending your guests in their expensive suits and dresses to stand in a line to build their own taco completely ruin the formal vibe?
That is the natural initial concern for anyone planning a high-end event.
I mean, doesn't it just feel a little cheap?
It would, if it were just a standard buffet. But the execution of this trend intentionally subverts that cafeteria feeling through theatricality.
Okay, theatricality. How so?
Well, this interactive format actually solves the biggest unspoken problem with formal weddings, which is sheer boredom.
That is so true. The waiting is the worst part.
Right, so it actively turns the catering into high-end entertainment. You aren't shuffling down a buffet line with a plastic tray.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, instead, you are stepping up to a bespoke culinary station where a live grilling chef is putting on a show specifically for you.
Oh, I see. So it's less like a high school cafeteria and more like being front row at an exclusive chef's table experience.
Exactly that. And giving the guest agency over their plate completely changes their psychological relationship to the event.
They aren't just an audience member anymore.
No, they are making choices, they are interacting with the culinary professionals, and most importantly, they are interacting with each other.
I can see how that completely shatters the awkwardness of Table 12.
It really does.
You are standing at the kimchi station next to that distant cousin, and instead of desperately trying to find a topic of conversation, the environment does the heavy lifting for you.
You're suddenly talking about the food.
Right. You are actively debating whether the mango salsa or the chipotle aioli goes better with the garlic soy shrimp. It gives people a shared, immediate, and exciting task to bond over.
It facilitates organic social moments. The fusion concept naturally breaks down the rigid, often uncomfortable architecture of traditional seating charts.
Because you literally have to get up.
Yes, it encourages movement, it forces mingling, and it creates shared micro-experiences throughout the room.
That's brilliant.
And to your earlier point about the luxury aspect, these aren't flimsy folding tables with cheap metal chafing dishes.
No sternos here.
Definitely not. They are highly produced, theatrical food installations.
Which naturally leads right into the visual dominance of this trend. I mean, when you have a chef literally setting a tabletop grill on fire in the middle of a cocktail hour, what's the first thing every single guest does?
They pull out their phones.
Immediately, they pull out their phones. The food isn't just sustenance anymore, it is the entertainment. And crucially, it is the visual centerpiece of the room. We have to talk about designing for the feed.
We really cannot overstate the influence of visual culture on modern event planning.
It's huge.
In 2026, the presentation and the lighting of the food are treated with the exact same critical importance as the flavor profile itself.
We eat with our eyes first, right?
We do. But more importantly, we share what we eat with our digital networks.
The visual details mentioned in the briefing are just staggering. You have flaming tabletop grills where the fire is literally a choreographed part of the show.
So cool.
There are colorful, almost architectural taco displays where the food is stacked and presented like a sculpture.
And the neon signs.
Yes, neon food signage glowing in the background, casting modern lighting over the stations. They are even using flavored smoke-infused cloches.
I love those.
Right. So when the chef lifts the glass lid off your plate, this fragrant, dramatic cloud of smoke billows out.
It's pure theater.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. It sounds like the food is literally doubling as the event decor. Is a flaming tabletop grill basically an interactive centerpiece you can eat?
That is exactly what it is. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, you have to look at where modern couples, and really any modern event planners, are finding their inspiration.
Social media.
Right. The aesthetic standards are being driven by visual trends on platforms like TikTok, Pinterest, and YouTube.
Planners aren't just trying to feed people anymore.
No, they are curating a visually stunning, highly shareable aesthetic universe.
Right.
Every single element, from the color of the salsa to the smoke from the grill, is a deliberate design choice meant to be captured on camera.
And what's fascinating is how adaptable that visual core is. The briefing breaks down how this exact same fusion concept scales across completely different venue styles.
The versatility is key here.
Yeah, so if you are having a high-end luxury wedding at an upscale indoor venue, they pair these interactive Korean BBQ taco stations with sleek champagne bars.
Oh, nice.
Moody ambient lighting, designer glass tablescapes, and live DJs. You take the kinetic, street food energy of a taco, and you elevate it by spacing it inside a luxury nightclub aesthetic.
The contrast there is what makes it feel so modern. You are juxtaposing the casual, tactile nature of eating a taco with a highly polished, formal environment.
It's a great vibe.
It really is. And conversely, if you are planning an outdoor celebration, the aesthetic completely shifts, but the core mechanics of the trend remain intact.
Right, for the outdoor weddings, the briefing highlights these incredible fusion food trucks that pull right up to the venue.
Food trucks are still going strong.
Absolutely. You have open-air grill stations under the stars, garden-style taco bars, rustic modern wooden decor.
And those festival-inspired lounge seating areas scattered across the grass.
Yes, it creates this vibrant, global, incredibly kinetic atmosphere. It feels less like a wedding and more like an exclusive music festival.
Which is precisely why this model is dominating the destination wedding market as well. It feels like an adventure rather than an obligation. But, you know, creating a visually stunning, globally inspired menu that doubles as entertainment requires more than just good food.
You need the drinks.
Exactly. To pull off